This video is my official declaration that I will be 100% committing myself to my interests no matter how hard it gets. Yes. So when it comes to personal interests, I usually have a hard time completing them. There's like this voice in the back of my head. It's always telling me like everything that I'm interested in, it's all worthless, and that like I should probably dedicate my time to something that's actually useful. Plus, whenever I actually try to sit down to work on something that I want to work on, for some reason my heart, it starts to beat very, very, very fast. I just have to get up. On another note, when I was still in school, I always had a really hard time starting and finishing my homework. Like by the time I came home, I couldn't really do anything. The only reason why I was actually able to pass school because one, my school was super lenient, and then two, I just made sure that I passed my test. I would just study the night before and then pass. But now that I'm out of school, I'm running into a new problem, and it's that I'm unable to keep a job for more than 1 year. I just keep quitting. All of these experiences, plus I guess all of the social things that I've experienced, I kind of just always end up feeling like I'm a complete failure and like a disappointment to myself and to everyone around me. There would be many nights and I would just kind of wonder like, what's wrong with me? And I would just cry. How come I can't be like everyone else? How come I can't just do what they do and do it right? And then so the answer that I would come up with is, oh, I'm probably just lazy and probably just choosing to be a victim, because that's what everyone else says about me. I feel like is I'm choosing to be these things. But then even though I would say those things to myself, you're just being lazy, you're just choosing to be stupid, you're choosing to be down on yourself. Like even if I told myself those things, it was still never enough for me to like actually get up and do things. And of course, I recently quit my job, and I don't really have a good reason. The company, it was good, it was fine, and I kind of enjoyed the work too, but then like for some reason every night, like the night before work, I would just cry and I would pray to God like, please can I quit? Please God, please make me get fired. Please make me get fired, God. And then every time I would show up to work, I just wasn't fired, and I would be kind of sad but also happy. What happened when I was working at this job was like every single weekend I had to go to a parking lot just to scream, and I would just be like, I hate myself. The longer I worked there, going to the parking lot became more than just the weekend. It became like every single other day. And then one day I just made a few too many mistakes. The feeling of shame overcame me so hard. I became numb, and then I just packed up all my things and I just left in the middle of the workday. Yep. Yeah, that's what I did. I really regret that I quit that way, but oh well. But thankfully I kept notes on when I felt like I worked best when I was still working there. Let me show you. These are the notes. Here's like some of the things I wrote down. I need a sense of urgency and I need a lot of pressure. It's not like, oh, procrastination is what gets me going. That feeling of adrenaline gets me going, and I like the feeling. I also noticed that I really like taking risks. I mean, I don't like it every day, but just like a little bit of risk is like kind of like nice. I need clear goals, but it needs to have broken down steps. If I just have the goal, it's kind of like, okay then, but what do I do? So I need to write down every single step. Like, you wake up in the morning, you fix your bed, brush your teeth, wash your face, eat breakfast. It needs to be very yeah. I don't know if that makes sense. The other things I noticed about myself is that I'm impulsive. I'm like really neurotic. One bad thing and suddenly I'm like, I hate everything and I hate myself. Also, some other things I know about myself, I'm really forgetful, but to other people it seems like I'm being careless, but I'm not. I just like genuinely forgot that I brought my phone with me to the restaurant, and then thankfully some really nice people, they always put it in the lost and found. Also, I guess like to other people I do seem capable, but the thing is on the inside I always feel like really lost. So like when people tell me like, oh, you're doing a really good job, and inside I'm like, what? For me, it has nothing to do with like I'm actually like I have like low self-esteem, because I feel like I do like myself, but there's just this feeling of I'm lost all the freaking time, and I always feel like I need to catch up with other people. I also noticed that like I have a hard time switching between tasks. I can never really be in the present. I'm always mentally preparing for the next thing I'm gonna do, and then sometimes when something really unexpected comes up, like at work, if there's like an unexpected task, I'd be like, oh my god, okay, I need to go to the bathroom, and then after I come back from the bathroom, then I'm fine. Oh, I have a really hard time like sitting down and like being still. In public, I'll like try to sit still. It feels like death. Like I feel like I'm dead inside if I just sit still the whole time, because I don't know. Basically, I was thinking about all those things, and I was like, why does that sound like ADHD? Like that sounds like classic ADHD. I didn't really take that thought seriously at that time until very recently. I missed 2 job interviews. I feel bad about it. I thought I was planning everything really well, and it turns out I really didn't plan anything well. I also found out that I thought I was reading the email correctly and I actually didn't, so I missed both of them. And then after I missed the second one, I was just like, Mai, you have a problem and you need help. I just like decided to search up some life tips for people with ADHD, because I was thinking like maybe there's gonna be something like helpful for me there. I just came across this master list post on Reddit, and it was just like tips for different areas of life, and I was reading it. I'm like, why is everything seem so applicable to my life? Like all of them seem like very extremely helpful, but then also some of the tips were already rules that I had to put in place for myself. There was this one tip that I saw: embrace chaos, let your brain get distracted when you're cleaning dishes and spot spare trash. It's fine, go clean that and then go back to the dishes. I have a similar rule when I'm cleaning to put things away. Just put away the first thing I see. If I know where it belongs, just put it there. And I told myself like, it doesn't matter if I end up running around the house just to clean. I see a cup, okay, kitchen, dirty clothes, put it in the basket. It's kind of like I'm having a race. But the most helpful tip, this one: do cardio before you need to do stuff that requires sitting, and it helps you focus. Oh my god, that tip illuminated my eyes, and suddenly I could see who I am. This is why I hate eating, because you have to sit down, like you have to sit still to chew. I don't need the rest of my body to be still. I can do things. I've finally understood where I get my random headaches from. Now I also know the source of my weird burst of fatigue, and now I know why I can't really sleep that well. I can feel the hours go by. I wake up a lot during the night. I can kind of see why, like, oh, this is why I cannot really sit still for 2 seconds. And then now I know if I have to read something, it's better if I read it out loud, because otherwise I'm gonna lose focus. And now I know why I really hated being at that job. I guess I was just really incompatible with the environment. Also, I was like really lonely there. I was like the only girl in the office, but that's something else. Then yeah, now I like start to purposely add movement into my day, and then also like if I just feel like moving, I'm just going to move, because I'm adding all of this movement into my day, and I'm just kind of like, let's just not try to be normal anymore. Like, let's just kind of be myself, whatever, because it kills me to be like everyone else. It literally kills me. Ugh. I can actually focus a little bit better. I feel a little bit more happier. I feel like I actually like have more energy. I actually feel like normal this like now. Like I know I'm still like really weird, but in the brain feels a little bit more normal. Now I can notice a little bit better when things are starting to really get to me, because sometimes like I'll get like this feeling of like, oh my god, I feel terrible and I don't know why, and I'll be like, oh, it's because the air fryer's on and it's so loud. But then also because my brain feels a little bit more normal, now I can see why like a lot of people would think that certain behavior is because someone is just choosing to be lazy and choosing to be like a terrible person, and it's because like if you're like kind of functioning normally, then you would have no other reason than choosing to be a terrible person. But then no, also I understand now why like a lot of self-help books don't help me at all. They just assume I have the basics down. I really don't. The type of self-help book I need is the one that will suggest you to make like a little tiny laminated card that lists every single thing that should be in your bag, and then you put it in like a very particular pocket in your bag, and then every time you're about to leave somewhere or you're about to go back home, you take out the card from the little pocket, and then you do like, okay, it says water bottle. Is my water bottle here? Yes, it's there. Wallet? Check. Phone? Check. Notebook? Check. And then you're like, awesome, I have everything. But then also like you have to make sure that all of those items in your bag have a very particular spot in the bag. That way you know for sure, like, yes, everything is in its spot where it's supposed to be. It's not just in my bag, but I know where it is in my bag, and that's how I know everything's in my bag. That's the type of self-help book I would need. A book for like a really irresponsible 10-year-old. But because these tips are working out really good for me, and I'm like, it's like surprisingly working out well, I think I should get a diagnosis. It's not really for me. I mean, I'm sure there will be helpful things like information that I would have never thought about learning, but then for me it's mostly just so that other people can just be like, so other people can just shut up. That's mainly why I want it, so other people can shut up. But then also because it's working, I'm like, ooh, I think I can actually like get the things I want to get done. So I'm like really excited about that, and I know that I'm gonna want to give up easily and stuff, and like that voice is gonna come back who's gonna tell me like, oh, everything about you is completely worthless. But then I know I can like ignore it better now. It's like easier, and like I don't know, like something about these tips and like just everything I've been through, my whole entire life is just one experiment, and I fail all the time. But because I fail all the time and I'm still alive, that means I pick myself back up all the freaking time. So I'm just kind of like, yes, I can do this, and now I have the things to like make sure I can do it. Yes, so I'm done talking now. Thank you so much for listening to me. If you did, if you didn't, I don't really care, because who would listen this long to me?